But I'm like,
bam, we're live. No shit. Well, that happens. Gary Roberts coming on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Gary Roberts.
I feel like that mic instead of gives you a real like radio voice right there.
Hiller called me today. He's like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I was like, I know, fuck. He doesn't normally call me. I call him. So like when I'm like, it's weird. He doesn't really ever call. I just call him. But today he called me. It was weird. He just wanted to check in.
Yeah, it was too long before you called him. He was getting a little nervous.
I think I need to play more hard to get with him.
Yeah, a little break was good. You know, you let him come after you a little bit. Let him chase you.
I was like calling him like 5 times a day. he was in the rotation. and then he's like, today he calls, hey, it's been a while. Hiller didn't even have the guts to tell me it's been a while. He's like, my girlfriend told me that it's been a while since we talked. Like he didn't even have the vulnerability to say it was him.
To put himself out there, he had to go through that second person.
I think it's okay to share this, right? It's part of my shtick. It's not like, oh, what's this?
The first? Are you talking about the notes?
No. I think it's the notes too. But I think it's okay to share that. Like normally, I wouldn't share personal phone calls, but like I think it's okay to share that. It's funny, right? It's like part of a shtick. It shows the intimacy between Hiller and I without revealing too much to where he would be offended. He's not going to call me and be like, "Dude, that wasn't cool. You shared that." Right?
No, I don't think so. I think it was the perfect amount. Plus, too, maybe people were wondering we didn't have him on the Hiller and Weekend Review on Sunday, so.
I'm just he did say this to me too. He's all, hey, are you licking your wounds from the game? I go, I am. He goes, me too. It's weird. I didn't Tony, I didn't drive through Bakersfield. Did I? I drove down the 5. I don't think I drive through Bakersfield. Close though. I think the highest I saw the temp get was 94. I am sweating like a pig though. I just did 100 burpees with I fasted for 36 hours, probably like 40, almost 48 hours, showed up to Newport, went straight to the bar, had a Bloody Mary, came back, met the benefactor, California Hormones, then went back to the bar with her, had 2 vodkas and Red Bull. Then, I know you guys are really disappointed.
That's unusual for you. Yeah.
Because I was falling asleep. So now I'm probably like 48 hours fasting, but just with 3 crazy drinks, Bloody Mary and 2 vodkas and Red Bulls. Then I went for like a 2-mile walk while my boys skateboarded, and then I came home and did 100 burpees, just like to kind of like clear my mind for the show. So if I seem in a unique state, it's because of that. Those are the chemical compounds. I still haven't eaten. I think I had a little bit of chicken, a tiny bit of chicken, probably like 3 ounces of chicken, 2 ounces. Oh, look at Eric Wise. I called it 3 deep.
Yeah, you did it earlier.
You can tell, you know me. And 100 burpees. Come on, man. Come on.
I kind of stay dedicated.
Tomorrow morning we have Trevor Cashy on. A brilliant guy, super duper brilliant. Rolls with some fucking high rollers. He is a PhD biochemist. We've had him on the show before. A trippy cat, stony cat. Specialist in training, weight loss, and a sober thinker, extremely sober in his thinking and logic. I'm excited to have him on tomorrow. I got a bunch of notes, and it's going to be fun to talk to him about I'm going to go through some of his videos and ask him about that, but I'm going to try to lure him into the deep end again. Last time I tried to lure him into a discussion of the difference between reality and thoughts, right? So the example that I always use on the show is sex, which is male, female, versus gender, which is in your thoughts, and sex is real. It's on the outside, the penis and the vagina. And last show, he kind of said that there is no difference, but there is a difference. And I got another example too. This time I'm going to tell him, like jealousy. Jealousy is only in your head. It's not in the outside world.
Oh, that's a good one.
It does not exist, right? Yeah. So I'm going to try to lure him into the deep end using that. Gary Roberts, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's up?
Hey, did you just work out too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me too.
Yes,
Drunk
sir.
as a skunk, but still worked out.
Deadlifts, kettlebell swings, squats. Fun times.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a company called CrossFit LLC. It used to be called CrossFit Inc. It was founded by Greg Glassman in the early 2000s. It's a fitness and lifestyle methodology with its foundation being nutrition, which is bizarre because most of the people who follow it don't even know that. And the foundation is nutrition. And it is a hardcore lifestyle, personal accountability lifestyle where you take responsibility for your health and wellness and well-being, and it empowers you. And although it is based in nutrition and movement, it bleeds over into the brain, because as you become more independent physically, you become more independent in thought, and you start understanding how to think correctly. And when during the upcoming of this company, the internet sort of took off at the same time. Some of you take the internet for granted, but there was a time when this company started where the internet really wasn't a thing. And then around 2006 and 2007, the internet started having bandwidth speeds fast enough to where you could upload pictures and videos. That's when I came onto the scene. And then at that time, I was also working with a man named Gary Roberts in the arm wrestling scene. This was like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the 2000s. And Gary had a very, very innovative company called Arm TV, where for a subscription, you could watch arm wrestlers arm wrestle, and he could brought the whole entire planet together on this website. It was fucking gnarly. And then YouTube came along, and YouTube even democratized it even more. And it's the irony is that I use the word democratization because now things like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram that were supposed to democratize this are now instead our fucking big brothers, which is fucking bizarre. But that sort of caused Gary to rethink his business model, because Arm TV was no longer exclusive in its Arm TV was no longer exclusive in its showcasing of arm wrestling talent all around the world, and everyone could upload it from their phones. At that time, Gary and I, because I was following the arm wrestling world at that time, also Gary and I had a close friendship. We were the only two videographers in the arm wrestling space around the world. In the world. I came across CrossFit. He said, hey, what do you at that time, he told me he was going to run a marathon to lose some weight. And I said, hey, dude, why don't you do CrossFit?
I forgot.
Ladies and gentlemen, my story has been hijacked by a man taking California hormones. I wish I could tell you we had this planned out ahead of time. I wish I could tell you I was drunk and this whole thing was planned out.
It's just B-roll.
Hey, you're not supposed to push it in. Aren't you supposed to do? Wait.
No, you gotta prime it.
Dude, shouldn't the bottle be the other way, Gary?
This is too good.
No wonder you don't know what you're doing. The bottle, what the fuck is going on here?
They don't give me enough. The needle doesn't reach the other way, bro.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Roberts is, oh my gosh, Alyssa Carr-Rideau. I'm uncomfortable. You should be uncomfortable. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Those are nice shorts. Oh my God. Look at her butt. Can we run the California? Can we run the California hormones banner on the bottom this time? Shouldn't that go closer to your ball sack? Shouldn't that go closer to your ball sack? Ow. The fuck did I just? I'm a nurse and this is not kosher. That's what your mom said. Hey, I'm pretty sure I saw him use a strobe. Oh my God, I can see the muscles growing. Oh! Alexander Hitch. Alexander likes it right in the taint. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to. No, I didn't mean to interrupt your scheduled injection. So at that point, Gary said, hey, I'm going to run a marathon. And I said, okay, why don't you do CrossFit instead? He said, okay. And I go, why don't we film it and make it into a series? And we made the series California Hormones. We made the series Killing the Fat Man, season 1. And it ended up being the most popular series in the history of CrossFit outside of games content. I I think the first episode has more than 1 million views.
Yep. Actually,
But more importantly than that,
now.
yeah, tens. Can you pop it up on the screen? Tens of thousands of people had their lives changed from this series. And Gary, how often do you get hit up on Facebook, Instagram? I mean, how old is that? Is it 5 years, 10 years old? How old is it?
It's we hit our 10-year anniversary.
A little older than that. Yeah, a little older than that.
Yeah, we had our 10-year anniversary.
1 million. So episode 1 has 1,080,000 views.
Yep.
How many comments? How many comments?
Over 1 million.
I cannot read any of that without
332.
It's awesome.
I get messages at least weekly. Now, it used to be like multiple daily, but I always get people checking on me. They want to know how I'm doing.
Dude, you look exactly the same. It's crazy. You didn't even age.
Somebody said they thought I was in my 30s the other day. That's positive. I am 49, bitches.
Yeah, crazy. So Gary lost a ton of weight, and it's 15 episodes. I highly recommend you watch it. Then we did a season 2, and now we are embarking in season 3. It is not a CrossFit production, though. It is a California Hormones. That's with an HOR, not a W. Hormones.
It's not Sevan Podcast production.
A California Hormones, Gary Roberts partnership. I am simply the voyeur. Gary, so
what's up, man?
Hi. I called you I don't know, a few months ago, and we started talking again, and I was like, how are you doing? And can you tell me, can we fake that conversation for the group?
Yeah.
Because you said some shit that freaked me out a little bit and scared me. So after season 2, you met a new woman and you have 2 babies now.
Yeah. I forgot when everyone says, "Hey, what precipitated your recent fall off?" Because I have had babies on the mind, I keep.
By fall off, you mean what caused you to gain weight again?
Yeah. I keep attributing it to having children, but mofo, it preceded that, and I totally forgot. And it 100% ties in. I cannot believe I forgot all this. Maybe because it was such a traumatic experience that my brain sort of blocked it out. But it really begins with when you called me to fire me from CrossFit.
Oh, tell me about that. I don't even remember that.
Do you remember?
No.
You don't remember?
Tell me. Tell me. I want to hear it.
I, at the time, had been commuting about an hour and 15 minutes. Since I met a girl and fell in love, I was living at her house in Oakland. I was commuting to Santa Cruz. And you called me in the morning and you're like, Gary, before we begin, I got so-and-so from HR on the line. And I was like, well, that's weird. Why is so-and-so from HR on the line? And you're like, Gary, I hate to do this. We're buddies. I love you, but I want to save you the drive into HQ today. I'm sorry, buddy, but I have to let you go.
Something happened to your microphone just now, Gary. Something happened to your microphone. Did you hit it or?
I hit it.
Okay.
There you go.
You said, I'm sorry, but I have to let you go. And the first thing that I thought was, I said, are we still friends? Like, you're like, of course. I was like, okay, as long as we're still friends.
Stand by 1 second. Listen, Kenneth. They probably told me they were going to fire Gary, and I demanded that I be on the phone.
Yeah.
Don't get this fucking crooked. They tried to make it so I couldn't fucking let go of my people.
Yeah.
So don't get this twisted. They fired 100 people under me, and 50 of them, I demanded that I be there for all of them, and they only let me be there for 50 of them, and they threatened to fire me. So don't get this twisted.
Yeah. And
anything that you think bad about me is wrong ever. Okay.
And you said I'd hate for you to drive in to the office this morning.
That's a long drive just to turn around and drive home.
From Oakland, and I completely appreciate that. So anyways,
hey, you guys have to also know this. I would do anything, and Gary, you tell me to fuck off if this is wrong. I would do anything, and you ask even the people who hate me at HQ, I would do anything to fight for my guys. Listen, I put my job on the line so many times to fight for my guys. So
I don't want to get specific because
but you can. No, get specific. It's fine. It's fine. If you think I was an asshole to you, I want you to say it.
I mean, no, it's just because we don't have time. But I would just say to the people that Sevan Matosian did so many things for me throughout my years at CrossFit that he could have fired me 50 times and I still wouldn't have been. I still would be forever indebted to the man. Like,
I may not have humility, but I'm a fucking good dude.
For instance, Sevan and I, we were in Scotland one time. We were working on some CrossFit projects. I was kicking my butt, and then we were getting ready to go back. And he goes,
"We went to Scotland together."
Yeah. He goes, "Hey, I upgraded you to first class."
Oh, good dude.
Like you let me take first class on the way home. I was like,
"Did I make you give me a handy?"
No, it's just like that's one.
This comes at a price still.
I'm just saying that's one of like 1,000 things that you did out of kindness. Like, hey, you're first class going home. Like I gave you some of my miles.
Only person I've ever met who works harder than you is Lauren Khalil, not including Matt Souza.
So anyways, I promise this story is going someplace.
I just keep interrupting you because I've had 3 drinks. Keep going.
But when you guys had let me go, I got a severance check. And one of the biggest things about losing all that weight is that I hated all this loose skin on my belly. And so the minute you guys issued me a severance check, I immediately went to a doctor who does surgical.
I think we talked. Yes. I think you and I talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah. But we did talk about it, but I totally forgot that the recovery on that effed me up for a long time.
Explain. So let me get this right. So you're saying that you lost all this weight. You went from 265 to 205. You had all this extra skin and you wanted to remove it. And now you're saying that fucked you up.
It effed me up twofold. One, so that they surgically cut from here all the way around, and they basically tore the skin up to my titties and stretched it down. So this belly button is skin that used to be up here. They stretched it down, and all the research I did from this surgery, nobody told me that when they remove that skin from your body, that you become numb for months. My entire midriff was numb. I couldn't feel it. And just from the exercise, from the surgery, you can't exercise for let's say 4 to 6
What do you mean? When you went in for your consultation to have that skin removed, they don't say to you, hey, you're just so you know, one of the side effects is you're going to be numb there?
No. Never.
That's like when you buy a pair of Nobles, they don't tell you, oh, by the way, we support putting men in women's sports, or they don't tell you that when you buy Nobles. So I guess I understand. Okay.
When I went back for the month checkup, I said, doctor, why do I not feel the entire middle section of my body? Like, he's like, oh yeah, that's just, it grows back in 1 millimeter a month, you're feeling. And it jacked up my working out.
You think circumcising boys is okay? You think that's okay?
I did not circumcise my son because I didn't like that I didn't get to choose.
Yeah.
I left him free. Him free.
Yeah. I know that's hard for a lot of you. I know it's hard for a lot of you guys. I know. I want to tell you something about circumcision. There's a movie called American Circumcision. I dare you to watch it. And I want you to know something, that the same membrane that attaches your fingernail to your finger holds your foreskin to the head of your penis. And when you circumcise a baby, it rips that membrane off the helmet, and instead of allowing it to attach naturally over a few years, and then eventually the foreskin falls back. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, this is an appropriate time to bring this up. This is an appropriate time. Yeah. Genital mutilation is fucking actually like nuts. But go on. Okay, so your skin. Sorry.
So I want to get something. I want to tell you a discovery that I had. So
thank you, Susan.
When I used to gain the weight, all the weight went outside of my. You have the weight, the fat that's external to your organs, and then the internal. And everyone, I guess, tells me the internal fat is the dangerous fat. Have you heard that?
Yeah, like the stuff that's on your organs is not the good stuff. You don't want that.
That's not the good stuff.
So visceral fat.
Yeah. So when I had them remove all that area, when I started to gain weight back, one, because of that hell of a recovery from the surgery, then the pandemic hit, then having children, and it just snowballed this, lack of diet and exercise. Anyways, when I started to gain the weight back, the fat on my body went internal because they removed the fat cells where they used to be. All the fat went internal inside my guts. And right around the time that you called me was right around. And so since killing the fat man, I lost my father who was featured in the first season, and we talked about him in the second season. He passed away last Thanksgiving. My beautiful father. The lifestyle, the sedentary lifestyle is what caught up to him. I also have another family member who had esophageal cancer, and it primarily, they say that esophageal cancer comes from acid reflux, like years of acid reflux. And what I was experiencing, I feel like I'm not a big divine intervention type guy, but I swear to you, Sevan, the week you called me, I had experienced maybe 10 days in a row. So my wife during pregnancy got acid reflux. My brother always told me he got acid reflux. My dad always said he had acid reflux. And I said, even during those years of being overweight.
I think that's common for pregnant women, by the way.
Yeah. Because the baby's, taking up the room. I never experienced it. All my fat was always hanging on the outside. I never had that problem. But because I had that surgery, I hit this breaking point where I was just eating regular meals and I was getting full. Like imagine if you had the gastro bypass. I feel like that was happening naturally because the fat was getting so condensed into my organs that it was squeezing my ability to have like a normal meal, and the acid reflux was coming up, and I was getting really concerned. I was popping the Tums, and I was scared to tell my wife. I was like, I never had this before, and it's literally getting bad. You called me literally that week, and you're like, hey buddy, how's your fitness? And of course I'm like telling you exactly what happened to that week, and you were kind of panicked, of course, which I was, but I hadn't verbalized it to anyone. Anyways,
you could tell I was panicked a little.
Yeah. Well, Travis Bajan called me 2 days later. He's like, dude, what's up? And I was like, oh
yeah. I called Travis. I'm like, what? Can we hold on 1 second? Johnny, my homeboy said he's had hard time getting oral because he's not circumcised. Chicks don't want to touch it. Oh yeah, girls only want to put a mutilated penis into their mouth. You're right. You fucking jackass. Thousands serve, buddy. Wilt Chamberlain's on my jock.
I'm not going to be
sorry.
able to
go ahead.
to my wife. Okay, so listen. Since I've started back at CrossFit, interestingly enough, the very first, I told you, I was like, I'm not.
I want to tell everyone what's going on here real quick. Sorry. About a couple months ago, I called Gary. I'm like, hey, what's up? We checked in. I check in with him every couple months. I had him on the show when I started the first podcast again, this podcast again. I've talked to him a couple times since. We have some distant friends, but we have some deep connections. And I called him and he said, hey, dude, I had this fucking skin removed on me. And that's when that skin was removed, there were fat cells in there, and those fat cells are now gone, and they're gone forever. I can't remake them. I'm like, what's the implications of that? He's like, well, now I've put on weight, and the fat cells that it's being stored on are the fat cells that are attached to my organs. And I go, is that bad? He goes, dude, it's really bad. That's the last place you want fat. I said, fuck. I go, hey, dude, we got to get you into a fucking CrossFit gym right away. And I'm working with this company called California Hormones. And do you want to be part of another experiment? He said, fuck yeah, let's do it. And part of that experiment, did they ever talk to you about the weight loss stuff too?
No, we haven't got into that part.
Okay.
But can I add to that?
That's where we are. Yes.
Can I add to that?
Yes, add to it.
I'm going to visualize something for you guys that you're not going to be able to unvisualize. I've never heard anyone describe it before. And I feel like because my now weight loss journey has been multiple. I've on the wellness to sickness. I've been back and forth now. I'm attuned to my body, both in the healthy state and the sick state. But the other day I was doing Murph, and in the push-up position, when you go down, if I'm putting 50% of the pressure on my chest cavity, and I'm trying to maintain some form, so I'm not letting 100% of my weight go to the deck in my chest cavity, so it's compressed. If I let up and I put 100% of my body and I let the chest cavity go to the deck, I can feel inside my chest cavity, I can feel the fat being displaced from one side of an organ to another. If you picture picture the rubber ball where you squeeze it and the rubber will pop out of each finger, and if you squeeze it where it balloons over here, if you squeeze this balloon, it'll shoot through and pop out the other side. I can feel the fat being displaced like a water balloon between my organs and my lungs. When I come down and I let my chest.
Did the doctors tell you about this, Gary? Did they warn you at all? Were they like, hey, dude, like you got to watch out for this shit? No, they weren't like, hey, you can never gain weight again because it's going to be on your organs.
They said, if you gain weight, it goes somewhere else. Like, because we've removed that skin, the fat won't go back right there. Here's a risk it goes somewhere else.
Holy smokes.
But what it means is I am now the stakes. One, I'm older. It's harder. It's harder than it was the first two times around. And now, I mean, the stakes have been raised, dude. We always talk about, you literally are like extending your life by doing this. But I mean, because I made that choice for, really it comes down to ego and visual, and I just wanted to look better. But I literally put my health at more risk. And, you can't go back, but I did what I did. But now my wife, I made promises to her, and now I've been bringing my babies to the gym, and they're seeing me move. It's like
That's so badass that you bring your kids to the gym. I know you showed me that the other day. That's beast mode. Yep.
I have so much more on the line that I'm like fighting for. And anyway,
what affiliate are you going to?
Iron Valley CrossFit.
What state?
Oregon City, Travis Mead. This guy's crazy, dude. He just finished 24 hours of Murph. He's nuts. He does weird.
Hey, and how long have you been in the CrossFit gym?
I've been at Travis's for a month, and I was at CrossFit Kako in
CrossFit Cock and Balls?
Cacao. I was there for a month, and that's in my like Beaverton area. Hillsborough.
Oh, you were in CrossFit Cock and Balls in Beaverton.
Hey, no, that's a legitimate affiliate.
Is this it here? Is this it here?
Iron Valley. That's where I'm at right now.
And how long have you been doing the TRT?
Let me look it up. It's been over It's been over a month now. You remember I told you it I hadn't felt anything yet. Like I knew I've been going back to CrossFit. I knew I'm feeling better. But from the time I spoke to you till now, I feel like a switch has been flipped. Like I feel muscles.
Let me see that thing.
Like there weren't muscles here before. I swear my bicep was missing. And now I'm feeling.
How about your mindset when you wake up in the morning? I keep hearing that when you wake up in the morning, it's different.
Well, I can only tell you that when I first started coming back to CrossFit, I was accomplishing the workouts, but I was feeling embarrassed. Like I don't deserve to be here. I don't deserve to be part of this community. And it was like, okay, this is a mission I have to do, and I have to put the negativity aside. And I didn't feel empowered at all.
Why is that, do you think?
I felt terrible. Just
because of where you were in the past, coming back to it, those feelings arise, as opposed to the first time kind of walking in and getting back into it? Like, what was the difference there?
I mean, just from the very first get-go, when Sevan called me and said, hey, let's do Killing the Fat Man, it was just a personal challenge that he kind of put to me. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to step up and be an influencer and be like a role model. It was just like, hey, can I do this? And, when you put yourself out there and the community's like motivated and you fired someone up to go, when someone finds Killing the Fat Man today and they're motivated to go like do something about it, when they're sending me messages saying, hey man, just wanted to let you know, I just started my first week of CrossFit and thank you for motivating me. And I'm been a piece of shit, unworthy of that, whatever that is, that I haven't been walking the walk, talking the talk and all that. You just feel pretty terrible. Especially Killing Fat Man 2, I made a bunch of promises to my wife, like, hey, I will maintain my fitness. Like, I want you to know that that's important to me. And then, I'm not saying babies are a really good excuse. It's really difficult to work around.
Hey, that's cool, though, that you realized it was just an excuse. So so what you're saying is that when you were let go, that sucked. That put you into a spiral when you were fired, when you lost your job.
No. It was free. It was freeing for a minute. It was like, for the first time, I don't have to see if Dave Castro's looking over my shoulder about the bitch fat because I'm not moving. That was a little bit freeing because of the pressure to be.
God, you really are an entrepreneur. You really are an entrepreneur through and through.
Yeah. So anyways, I enjoyed the break, for once, not having Sevan or Dave, like, are you moving?
Jock.
Yeah. But, and of course you say, oh, I'll be fine. I'll get to moving. I'll just take a little break, the pandemic break. But, then it compounds, right? I feel I'm trying to.
How long did you not work out for?
I mean, dude, there were starts. I joined in Illinois. I joined CrossFit Carbon for like a month. Like the minute the pandemic ended, I joined there. And I was there for like a month. But then, for one reason or another, I used babies as a reason to not go. I've tried to start, but I'd say I was not consistent for 2.5 years from the time my son was born. Oh, I swear to you, there's one time I talked to you and you said, oh, I hope you're starting Killing the Fat Man 3. And I was like, I literally thought about it because after CrossFit, my career with CrossFit was over. I had to ask myself, do you know Obese to Beast?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Beast, yeah. I don't know his name. Obese to Beast. I think I had him on the CrossFit podcast.
Yeah. He ghosted me. I reached out to him because I thought for a second, okay, the only way I'm
John David.
Yeah, John David. The only way I'm going to maintain my fitness is if I like really commit to social media and do like that's the only, for some reason I work hard when a camera's in front of me. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to do the social media. It's going to push me. I was calling Killing the Fat Man projects, not like a series. It'd be lifetime, ongoing, daily posts of me just trying to work. But I decided I didn't want the daily. Well, I reached out to him and I was like, hey, give me some tips on once he thought I wasn't just a fan and I was looking for clues on how to be an influencer, he like didn't respond back. But I decided at the end of the day, I don't want that pressure. I don't want the daily responsibility that I have to post social media of me moving for 365 days a year times the next 30 years. Like, I just don't want that pressure on me. So I kind of almost did it. And you were like, hey, I hope you're doing something. But then I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I love that it's motivating to people, but I can't do it on a daily basis. I can do projects like this, but I don't want to be on social media forever.
This is the first time I'm hearing that you felt that pressure. I didn't know you felt that pressure.
I'm good with short-term pressure, but the idea that it's a lifetime thing that I have to post, I just took a break is what I'm saying. And it's snowballed into a longer break in other areas. But
so now you're back in two. So yeah, 2 months at 1 month at Ironside with Travis, 1 month at Cockamole.
Iron Valley, Caco.
Iron Valley.
CrossFit Caco.
And
how many days? Hey, these are legitimate affiliates. Let's get them right, sir.
Okay, good. Stand up for your people. Look at him. Look at Gary. That's the most serious I've ever seen Gary. He's like, fuck you. We're fucking around. But Gary, wait, what's this? That dude's a clown. I used to watch his YouTube. Correct, Bruce Wayne. Where is this? He is a clown. I agree. Sevan looks bored and trying to stay awake. Steve, go fuck yourself. Ken Walters, he's had 3 drinks. Yes, that's true. Gary Robertson Hiller would okay. Okay. So you
wait, hold on. What is this private chat to me? Who are you talking about?
Oh, I was telling I was chatting to Souza that guy's
informing me.
That guy's a like when you brought up that guy's name, I was just like, that guy's a dude. I mean, that guy is a douche. He I mean, on the highest level, he's a woke douche. But I don't want to give him any airtime.
Hold on, I just want to say one more thing. I just want to say,
don't bring that shit in the private, Gary. Don't bring that shit up. That's for me. That's for us.
That's why I don't bring them up on the screen here.
Okay, but just let me finish.
Can you bring those up? Can you bring those up? No,
hold on. If I look at someone like that and I say, could I do that? Do I want to do that every day?
Well, what he does is cool. But that shit's cool. What he does is cool, but he just went off the woke train. He's just another person who's had success, but then wants to preach the victim mentality. And that's what sucks. Like, fuck the victim mindset. And it's like what you said. You like, and you know what? When I met you, I had the victim mindset and you didn't. And I used to make fun of you. And now I'm like, it's crazy how much you knew that I had to catch up to you with in terms of mindset.
I've become apolitical, biatch.
Oh, you're so smart. You were smarter than me and
politically
cooler
homeless
than me when I met you, and I had no idea.
Yeah. Anyways, the point of the story is in order to maintain my fitness and live a long life, I need another way because I love social media. I love to stalk it. I don't want to be it for like where I have a following expecting.
What about the account? Okay, let me say this. I didn't even think we were going to go down this route, but if you want to fuck with this, let's do it. What about the accountability? Don't you like a little bit of the accountability? Like, I enjoy the accountability. I enjoy the accountability of the community. I know it was a lot of pressure on you because you were a beacon of hope for like a shitload of people, right? You lost almost 100 pounds, but if you accept your journey, it can be fun, right?
I will say this. I will throw.
I mean, it's cool that you've relapsed. I mean, most people have relapsed. You have a pretty normal journey. The only thing that's not normal about you is that you're vulnerable.
Yep,
I'm extremely vulnerable.
I will say this. I'm gonna throw my wife under the bus. Okay.
Yeah.
She saw that episode after Thanksgiving where you and Tyson were like railing me for having a slice of pizza over Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, okay.
And you guys just railed me.
Was that season 2?
Season 2. And my wife's like, come on, man, let the guy, like, if he's doing so well, he doesn't have to be perfect. And your expectations of what you want are like the perfect. As long as my community understands that I can't be perfect forever and I'm going to fall and slip and that's just going to be me. Like, as long as my community would know that, then I would be more okay with it. But I can't be the guy who pretends like I don't fail because mofo, I fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's why a lot of people would like it.
Yeah. Well, okay. I will say this, Sevan.
Me too.
The last time we hung out, you told me your kids were like 2. You're like, my sons have never had juice, like ever.
Yeah.
I was like,
I still don't think they've ever had juice.
Like, I was like, dude, that's a level of amazing, but I don't know. Like, I water down my juice for my kid and I don't give him juice often, but I can by no means say that he's never touched it. Like, and I don't want to be shamed by you if I gave my son some watered down juice.
Asshole.
Because somehow you're able to live perfect and I can't.
I am not. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. You're right. You're schooling me right now. I like it. It's good.
And just in general, working for CrossFit, you're around a lot of athletes who do live the life. And it's like, fuck, man, that's another level of respect I have. But I just, as the guy who becomes fat every few years, I'm more normal. But I love it.
Well, let me ask you this. What?
Okay. One of the reasons during this first month and a half that I've been, one of the reasons why I agreed to do the California hormones is I was like, okay, I'm older. Will that
not everything in moderation? Not everything in moderation. No fentanyl in moderation. No dollop of peanut butter in my Lamborghini's gas tank in moderation. Not everything in moderation. I don't agree.
I was hoping one of the
I love being shamed by Sevan. I'm a whore for it. You.
Oh, Kenneth.
One of the reasons why I agreed to. Okay, so when you and Tyson, you sat me down and Tyson made me send pictures of everything. There was 30 days that went by that I had nothing but veggies and clean meats and fruit, nuts and measured and perfect. And I was like, my wife said, dude, you can't go that crazy. You got to be more normal. And I was hoping that California hormone would help me get similar results without being perfect. If I could just sum up.
You're getting juiced up so that you can eat a little pizza. Hey, what about using it this way though, Gary? Don't you feel the pressure? Aren't you like, okay, now I'm even more motivated to do everything perfect because I'm going out on a limb and using this supplement.
Okay, we've come full circle. Matt, you asked me how I got that mindset in the very beginning. Mm-hmm. We literally have been transitioning in the last, like, just mentally, I've become stronger, more empowered. Before I was walking into the gym and I was like, I'm modifying. I'm not trying to race anybody. And I've been that mindset where I told you that was like just a little weak bitch. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't deserve to be here has completely a switch has been flipped. In fact, I just last Friday, there was this husband and wife team from Antioch, California, mm-hmm. Naval gentlemen. They just graduated.
Ghetto, by the way, Antioch, California, ghetto.
Ghetto. They just graduated.
Ghetto. Say it, Susan. You know Susan. Ghetto.
Miguel, Iron Valley CrossFit.
Yep, of course his name is Miguel. Ghetto.
He just graduated the onboarding. So for 2 weeks, I've seen them do special workouts that look just like bitch stuff, easy. And and this one had a mile run, and I was like, "Hey, coach, put them in the class. I need to see that if I'm fitter than some dude just graduating from onboarding." And he smoked me on the run, and we came back and we were doing power cleans, and I finally caught up to him. I beat him by 8 reps.
Yeah. Of course he smoked you on the run. It's Antioch. Awesome. He's been running from cops half his life. Miguel, remember. Listen, Antioch High was the high school that would come over and beat the shit out of my high school. We'd beat him at basketball, and then they'd beat us up in the parking lot.
Point is, my brain is back. I am dominating. I'm getting to the gym. I'm no longer scared of the workouts. I'm empowered at the end. I could say, when you say you got to dig a little deeper, the well that I can dig, that I can reach in to get to that next level has just gotten deeper. I'm now 70 to 80% into the workout. Before I just wanted to quit and stop. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like empowered. I'm digging. I'm beating. I'm like, I'm in it. I'm back, baby.
Gary, can you hold that bottle up for me for a second again? The bottle, the vial. So what you're saying is, because we were talking early on, you were having trouble getting the juice out of it. So basically what you're saying is that the needle didn't go down to the bottom.
Yeah. Okay.
So now what you do is you turn the bottle upside down and just barely put the needle in. So it does go to the bottom.
If they gave you a full bottle, but you'll see my bottle.
It doesn't need to be a full bottle. If the needle goes to the bottom, why couldn't you suck the juice out of it?
No, I've been barely getting a half bottle, and the needle barely reaches.
Let me see the top of that vial. I've never seen one of those vials. So that thing is a rubber seal. And so when you puncture that, it still stays so tight on the needle that it doesn't leak out. So what you do is now you turn it upside down and you just barely put the needle in and you suck it off. So there's still some in there.
Right.
And
now. when you saw me squeeze in, I was pumping air into the bottle to pressurize it, to kind of to help draw. So you put some air in the needle, and then you put air in the bottle, and it kind of pressurizes a little bit and it draws it out.
Why can't you just put that bottle at an angle, shove that needle in all the way till it hits the cervix, fucking in the bottom, and then just pull it out from the corner?
It's never reached the material.
Okay.
It's in the, I have to go like this and like get
here. Expose the needle again. Let me see that needle,
dude. Let me tell you. This needle hurts like a mofo, bro.
I know. I heard you.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Now stick that into the bottle for me. God, that's a thick needle. Why is that needle so thick?
Yeah. Because the juice is thick. It's a thick oil. I can't stick it back in. It's been used, bro. I can't contaminate my business.
I'm doing a podcast. Why do the 3 friends I have, one of them's on the podcast and the other 2 always call me. So that's cool. So let me see. What is that empty now? You're done with that? Are you done with that, Gary?
No, you can see.
Oh yeah, there's some in there, the bottom corner.
Oh, so you're going to use that again?
Yeah.
So that's why you're not putting the needle back in there. Okay, fine. Yeah. Fuck. So you're telling me that needle doesn't go to the bottom?
No.
That fucking needle's longer than your dick, dude. How does that needle not go to the bottom? I see that, but why doesn't that? You're telling me that needle doesn't hit the bottom of that jar? Multi-dose. I understand, Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. Chill. Oh,
dude.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
It does not.
Thank you, Souza.
Listen, maybe when I first got the bottle, I could stick it in, but not after.
Steve Cousins says mine is an inch longer at the most. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, Sevan. Are you telling me today I worked for 3 hours to produce you B-roll of what I've been doing in the gym, and you have not clicked on that shit?
Oh, where is it?
I sent you a link.
I clicked on it.
Matt Souza. If you show the very first one, if you see the first 10 seconds and the last 10 seconds, you can see what I've done here. Come on, bro.
Let's see it. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. Where? Okay, here. Are you going to play it, Susan? Sorry.
Oh, I have to upload it in here. Hold on. I didn't know we were gonna play it.
Let me see.
Can
Maybe
you do
I
the
can
thing
do
where
it.
you just share your
Well,
screen?
the last time I watched your podcast, you have B-roll flying all over the place from the game. So I thought
True.
I thought you were professionals.
Oh man.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I'm getting it.
Okay,
I'm
you got
getting
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna be exclusive newsletter action there. I didn't want to screw anything up and show it on screen.
No. This
Oh
is
my goodness, Gary.
This is
He's
Odin.
so big.
Odin,
Yeah.
what's up, bud?
Hey, look up here. You say hi?
See the talking heads.
You say hi? So you can see my gut is being shoved out. It's full of fat inside there. It's like rock hard, but the fat is in there. I can't do a pull up. So I'm wearing that shirt at the end of the workout.
How long ago is this? This is 2 months ago?
Yeah. The biggest thing for me
Hey,
is that
look how cool your affiliate is that it lets you have your baby right there.
Yeah. The thing for me is that I tried to do a rope climb at Kako and I couldn't. And then at the end I climbed up a rope, no problem, at the Iron Valley. So I am making progress. I went from banded pull-ups to sorry. I didn't know if it's inappropriate.
What's inappropriate? What's inappropriate? I didn't see any cock and balls.
Oh, wall walks.
Wall
horrible.
walks, nice.
Oh, oops, don't touch that, Bubby. Sorry, I have to hide that business here. So anyways, fast forward towards the
any side effects, any negative side effects?
Here's where I feel the fat. No negative side effects. I feel I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Oh my God, you already look better, dude. It's crazy. You already look way better.
Yeah, there's another side mirror view at the end too. There's already a massive difference.
Yeah. So.
Oh, look at that. Squat snatch action.
I'm working on it, buddy.
That's awesome.
I think the rope climb is coming up. Here's where I beat Miguel. Miguel, I'm coming after you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. It's been a game changer bringing my children to the gym.
What do you mean by that?
It's just like, it drives me, man. It drives me. Them seeing my kid is mimicking. He's when we're working out or we're doing like leg lifts, like warming up, he's in the corner doing the leg things. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. I'm 49, Jeffrey. It's I've discovered really season 3 is about the children. It's 100% about the children, dude. These guys, I'm modeling what I'm doing for them. It was never done for me for fitness. I didn't do it for my daughter. And, my kid is going to have a different mindset. His first memory will always have, it'll be related to something like with me in the gym doing movements and CrossFit and, I don't think you remember 2 years old, right? But whatever year he has his first memory, one of them will be me busting ass in the gym, bitch.
I know, it's so awesome. Hey, what about this, Gary? No testicular dystrophy. I think that means shrinking nuts. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's good. We're good.
Gotta get us a dig on YouTube.
Dude, I listen. That's the thing is, Sevan.
Yeah.
The thing that we're missing from season 1 and season 2 is that you were always around asking the hard questions.
Right.
That's the one thing that's not happening here. But I will tell you, there's an uptick in the.
Oh, there is.
There's interest in the.
Really?
So
wow.
I wouldn't say they're
like 1 or 2 erections.
Buddy, I wouldn't say they're getting smaller, bro.
Wow. Okay. Are they are they
I mean,
are they like hard? Are they like, could you put a nail in? Like,
here's the deal.
You know those ones that kind of hurt, like when you're like 16 years old, you're sitting in Spanish class and it's just so hard it hurts. Are they like that again?
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Listen. My wife, don't tell her this. She's never going to watch this. She was concerned about me taking these California hormones because she's like, listen, buddy, you may be getting older. Your testosterone may be a little lower, but when it comes to the loving departments, you don't need no help. Okay. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. And she was concerned. She's like, I can't have you more fired up. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said to her in the beginning, I said, it'll be fine. I can't want it more. But anyways, dude, I cannot tell her. We can't tell her because I don't want her to know that, like, I mean, every day she's looking more and more like I'm undressing my wife more than usual with the eyeballs. And I'm like, damn it, boy. You know, someone mentioned, I said, hey, you know, you might sexual interest like your 20s again. And I'm like, I don't know if I need that, but it might be happening. The interests. But I can't tell her because she didn't want to deal with that shit. She's like, it's already fine. Yeah.
Do you know about edging?
I know what it is. I don't know if I've ever quite successfully pulled it off.
Yeah. There's no point. There's no point.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think? Are you gonna have more kids? No, you can't have. You're done having kids.
I have a frozen boy. I have a boy on ice.
Like my cousin had a frozen cat.
I have a frozen baby boy in cryostasis, ready to be hatched, and we don't think we're going to. You know, when you do IVF, they can do multiple. They can give you backups.
So you have a boy that they could just toss in your woman's vagina and it would just attach to her inside her uterus and start growing?
So my wife, when she was fearful that it couldn't happen naturally. So we went through all the IVF stages and they got a insemination. They grew it in a petri dish. And it's lasted the number of weeks that to be viable, most likely. And then they freeze it. And then they said, hey, before we implant this, let's try the old fashioned way of just insemination where they just time it. And I was like, well, wait a minute.
Like just squirt one of your loads in her with the turkey base.
Yeah. I said, wait a minute. Why didn't we just try that first? Like,
just
the other way was thousands of dollars. They're like, well, if you want 2 children, what? So anyways, they did the insemination. I call it my first 3-way, you know, because the doctor was right there with the legs up. He's like chatting us up. And I was like, oh, this is our first threesome.
Did you say that?
Yeah, it's a joke.
Did the doctor get it? Did he like that joke or not?
I don't remember. My wife didn't like it.
Oh, okay. I like it. I give you a pass.
Anyways, that was my son. So my son was born. Then almost 2 years later, my wife and I, we were trying to figure out what do we do with the other boy.
Was your doctor a male or female? Important question here. Sorry.
Male.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, male, female action.
Chill, Craig. Don't. No judgment. No judgment zone. Chill, Craig. Chill.
So then, it was summer. Like my son was 2.5, and we're like, what do we do about this frozen embryo? And before we knew it, my wife, without any doctor intervention whatsoever, 100% natural. We got married, Sevan, which that's another thing I'm pissed off. Why in the world did you not come to my wedding? Bullshit. I invited Yosemite. I invited you and Tyson. Neither of you came to my wedding. I'm really upset about it.
Wow.
Anyways, on our honeymoon, after our wedding,
ladies and gentlemen, don't anyone ever invite me to a fucking wedding. Thank you. Okay, go on.
I was a bit disappointed, Sevy.
I know. And you know what? Like, I don't.
Hope he leaves RSVP.
That's all right. Matt Bishop,
I would have liked to have done anything with you outside. Like, even if I don't like going to weddings, I would have liked to have done anything with you or for you or part of anything that's like means anything to you, because just the way our lives are interconnected. So you're right. Even though I think I thank you. I mean, sorry, anyways. Whatever I'm supposed to say. I love you.
It's fine. I'm busting your balls. But the point is, 1 month after the wedding, we got pregnant completely natural, and we had a baby girl.
No, not completely natural. You squirted in there with a turkey baster. You didn't. It wasn't like it didn't shoot out through the head. Oh,
he used his turkey baster.
The daughter, my daughter.
That's straight from your penis to her.
Yeah, it's completely
uterus.
Normal on the honeymoon.
All right.
So now we had these 2 babies, and I was like, "Oh, we're not having that third. We can't." I'm like, "This too is hard work, bro." So we can't do this again. So sadly, they're just maybe frozen boy.
I fired you. You gained weight back. I didn't show up to your wedding, and I injected you with testosterone. Fuck.
Listen, I told everyone else, Sevan Matosian would have to do 20 million bad things to even dent what the man did for me during my lifetime. I mean,
I can't tell you what you've done for me either. You've done so much good shit for me too. We're even.
Listen, for you,
we're tied. We're tied.
For you commenters out there busting Sevan Matosian for not coming to my wedding, he did so many things that I thought maybe there was a little bit of favoritism. I was like,
well, definitely favoritism. I don't believe in fair. Definitely favoritism. I always did more for people that I liked more, and anyone who thought that was wrong.
I'll never forget. I will give a little insight here. So we were at Big Sky, Montana, and we were having a media meeting, and all the media guys were talking about how like it's a pain in the ass having to get reimbursed for like luggage costs, and I was like, oh, Sevan's never made me deal with that shit. I've never had a problem. I've never had to turn in a receipt for luggage. And I just felt bad because Sevan took care of me as an employee. Like he was the dream boss and homie.
Okay. I only did that because there's, in all honesty, you were one of the hardest workers in the biz. And to be fair, almost everyone who worked at CrossFit Inc., whether I liked you or not, fuck, you guys were hard workers. It was an impressive group of people. Gary, so your film, this is season 3, and so you've started filming your journey.
Yeah, and because I don't have a dedicated filmographer following me, I've filmed
so much
because I want a lot of varied shots. So I've kind of filmed every single workout. Like I have like 20 hours of footage. It's bullshit. It's like,
have you done any repeat workouts yet?
Funny thing is that today we had a repeat movements bar rollout where like you're on your knees and you have to like roll the bar out as far as you can and bring it back in, which I can only go like halfway. Today we repeated it, and I went a little further than I did the last time. So nice, good. No repeat actual workouts. Oh, I repeated Murph. Oh. So I did Murph. Back in what was it, Memorial Day, and it was a half Murph. I did them 1 mile, half. 1 mile is 56 minutes. When my crazy coach did a 24-hour Murphathon, I redid Murph, full Murph with a vest on the runs. I didn't partition it, and I did it in about 2 hours. No bands on the pull-ups.
Hey, nice. That's crazy that you've done Murph twice in 2 months and you just started CrossFit.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude. Hey, good job. 57 minutes and 2 hours is fucking dope. What people don't realize is there becomes a point where people are like, well, they're trying to compare times. And they're like, oh, I did it in 50 minutes or I did it in 48 minutes or whatever. But like, dude, 2 hours means that he was working for 2 hours. There's a component of that makes that harder than someone that did it in 45 minutes. He was on his feet for 2 hours working. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. You must have been hurting.
Yeah. If I could describe... I was thinking about this at the gym today when I just finished.
Look at this, Gary. You're gonna love this.
Cobra Road. What's up,
the legends in the house. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Gary. Go ahead.
If I was thinking about this when I first started CrossFit. I'd say I was close to hurting myself so many different times. I was so fragile.
Me too.
Like I had
excited, right?
I don't know. I already told you I wasn't excited. I was intimidated. I was sad. I was depressed. I hated myself.
Oh, this time.
But I'm telling you, I was like, oh, I'm feeling my age. I'm feeling my mobility's crap. I'm achy. I feel like everything is going to injure itself. And then I was working out today and I was like, oh shit, you haven't felt like you're going to injure yourself for weeks. Not only do I not feel like I'm going to injure myself, I'm stronger. Like today, deadlifts, I threw 225 on for sets of 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
You're getting it.
I was like, oh, I haven't done 225 since like 2015. But
Wow.
I was just doing it in the strength portion. And I was like, I do not feel like I'm close to injuring myself. I feel like I'm getting stronger. So I mean, a lot has changed since we spoke 2 weeks ago. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not feeling amazing. But today, I'm crushing it, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any weight loss? Have you lost any weight?
I'm down about 13 pounds.
No
Nice.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If I was 100% on the nutrition, it could be more, but you told me we had a year. So I was like, my wife,
ease into it.
Well, my wife said like, hey man, don't be doing that Tyson stuff. You guys get shamed for, a slice of pizza.
Well,
it's more.
Do you think? What do you think I could do? So like today, what do you think I could do to make it so? Like, here's the deal with me. I'm far from perfect, and how I raise my kids is far from perfect. I just don't like to show the parts where I'm not being perfect, because I don't want to give anyone. It's not that I'm ashamed. It's just I don't want to give anyone an excuse. I don't want to show that. So I'll give you an example. Yesterday, after an insane day, I can't even tell you how much crazy shit Avi did and the boys, and all 3 boys did. Then afterwards, they came home and they went on the skate ramp, and I had them skate opposite what they normally skate. So I made Avi skate regular, and I made the boys skate goofy. And I had them do that for 15 minutes. That's some hard shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And after that, I gave them, as a reward, I gave them ice cream, little tiny ice cream sandwiches, tofuti cuties or something. But I would never show that on my Instagram, because I don't want to. I don't condone that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
but on the other hand, I don't want to alienate people. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You're just falling into the Instagram fallacy that everything is fake.
Well, is it? Here's my thought. It's not that it's fake. Okay, let me give you an example. I
didn't say that it is fake, but there's a perception that people only show their bright side on Instagram.
Yes, 100%. I only do 100%. Yeah. But here's the thing. I when I watched Mad Men, that show, that motherfucker John Hamm is always smoking and drinking alcohol. And whenever I watch that show, I'm like, damn, I want to smoke and I just want to do shots. And it's not that I want to be fake. It's that I don't want to glorify that lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's very interesting, because the part of my Killing the Fat Man on the Sevan channel is dealing with that issue. And I was like,
where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line between being fake but not like? I don't want anyone to be like, well, Sevan has ice cream, so I should have ice cream. No, fuck you. No.
Yeah, I don't want to get permission by posting.
Yeah, I don't want to give people permission for that.
Okay,
there's already abundance of that.
I want to try to be perfect. Hey.
Listen. I can't believe you said. I can't believe you did it. You teed me up for a perfect. Okay,
do it.
Listen, I've been trying to equate. I'm not successful at it, so I don't know if I'm going to butcher this. But I've been trying to equate finance and fitness. Like there's some sort of parallel analogies here. And follow me for a second. Like I hear a story like, oh, don't eat that cookie. It takes 20 minutes to burn that off on the treadmill. And then they always stick that in your head, but no one's talking about, well, the person who's like, there's the person who's living like they're overeating, I say they're getting into debt, or the person who is building muscle is the person who's saving financially for like a better future. The person who's living financially smart can afford to splurge and have a pizza because they can afford it, and they can also, they're working out so they can afford it on their body, versus the person who's living a deficit, like in debt, that pizza is just going to go to more fat. Like they can't afford it. You know what I mean? And so I think, like, when I think of what I'm doing right now, is I'm a person who's trying at 49, who's trying to kickstart their fitness again. Is this analogous to the person who's tried to save for retirement multiple times, but has failed to do so? The later you take to start saving money, you have to put away more to get less back. And I feel like my fitness journey is very like that. I'm having to work harder to see even less results versus somebody who's younger and start saving, the compounding effect. So when it comes to can you afford to have ice cream, I think it really comes down to that. Like, are you living smart financially or fitness wise for most of your life so you can afford to do these little things and not take a hit? That's kind of what I think of as ice cream. Like right now, my fitness journey, because I'm trying to lose weight, I can eat clean 6 days a week. All it takes is one Sunday barbecue to crush the potato chips, crush the red vines, have a couple Cokes, and I have lost all my gains for 1 week. And it's like, to you, you're like, hey, how come you didn't lose any weight this week? And it's like, but I did so well for 6 days. It only took one to F me all up. So that's kind of like where I'm at. Like,
hey, that's better though than doing 6 days of fucked upness in a row.
Right.
6 months of fucked upness.
But back in Killing Fat Man 2, I ate clean for 29 days in a row, and you guys shamed me on day 30 for having a slice of pizza.
Like, was that good or bad?
Yeah, that's what I want to know too.
I mean, I don't think it's realistic to expect, if I'm trying to inspire people to do Killing the Fat Man themselves, I don't think it's reasonable to expect that they're going to be, out of 90 days, they're not going to have one cheat day, and to shame them if they do. Like, I just think that's unrealistic. I'm not disagreeing. For Killing Fat Man purposes, it was awesome, and it worked out. And I met my wife, and I now have 2 babies, and thank you and Tyson so much. However, me going forward, I'm trying to just...
So you think it should be 29 days of strict eating, 1 day of shit eating with no shaming, and then back to 29 days?
No, I'm just saying the shame factor versus what's reasonable expectation.
Okay.
Like not just completely like shit, but not,
not
make me feel like I killed my wife because I ate pizza.
Right.
You know, it'd be interesting.
I wish I could. I can't remember that.
you just have to watch the episode, bro.
I have to go back and watch it.
I just was watching some of them, and I saw that part about the pizza.
You know what part he's talking about?
And he's like, what is on my phone? What did you eat that's not on my phone right now? What did you eat? And he's like looking through all the photos that he sent them.
Sevan Matosian is running through the background of the office. Goes, oh my God! Did you hear it? Did you hear what he said? He had pizza. You can see you running in the next room going, did you hear? He said pizza. He had a Coke. You came up to me. You had a Coke.
This is what my face looks like when I feel like an asshole.
Hey, what if on this time, Killing the Season, Fat Man Season 3, when you went to have one of your balance meals, let's call it, or you indulged in the ice cream, what if you talked about the feelings that you had leading up to it, and then if it was satisfying after you had that ice cream or not?
Oh,
because
it's
you since you
never
don't have
it's
it
not
might just also
satisfying.
be a good exercise, not in the sense of shaming, but just in the sense of awareness or the realization about what led me to the thought to actually eat this ice cream. Was it, did I feel I deserved it, or whatever the case may be? And then as you finish it, say, hey, what were the repercussions of that mentally? Like, how did that make me feel afterwards? Did it change anything? Should I have just avoided it in the first place? And so
Did
it's
you
not
say it's never
necessarily
satisfying? Is that what you said?
Mm,
What did Gary say when you asked that, Matt? You said, "Is it?"
yeah.
You
Okay.
said, "Is it
Yeah, I said it-
satisfying?"
right.
Okay.
And what did he say?
I
Okay.
believe he said it's never satisfying.
Oh.
Okay, listen. I'm about to say something
Is
I
it-
wasn't
Is
even
sex
gonna
satisfying? Is sex satisfying?
Oh, fuck yeah. Come
Yeah,
on.
but
bro.
drinking a Coke isn't.
Here's the deal.
Go
I'm gonna release something here that I was gonna hide from Killing the Fat Man, season 3. And I was
God, you
100
look good, by the way. You look great.
Thank you. I was 100% gonna hide it because of the shaming that Sevan has done in the past,
Yes.
which is my wife.
Hold that Coke up that's down there on your desk right now, Gary. Hold your fucking Coke up.
No, listen. My wife is someone who can have a soda every now and again. She doesn't overdo it.
Yeah.
She's just normal. She could drink a soda and not even finish it, maybe.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, dude, fuck Sevan. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not have a soda just because he's shamed. Like, I am normal. I don't go crazy with it." By
Right.
the way, she didn't say that. That's my ad lib.
Understood.
So we still have oh no, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Take me to the fridge.
are
Take
we
me
going
to
in-
the fridge.
I can't believe
Take
I'm
me
doing
to the fridge now. This
So
is
my-
your father speaking, Luke.
So my biggest problem.
Come to the dark side, Gary.
So my biggest problem is that it's still around, and
Oh, throw it out.
Coke shaming. Coke shaming. Let me see. Please be a Diet Coke. Please be a Diet Coke. Please don't be regular Coke. Please be a Diet Coke. Holy shit.
Whoa.
You're a fucking distributor. That's a nice fridge. God, please
Listen.
tell me there's some booze in there.
listen, we had a party. And so there's all this leftover soda, and my wife, she can just avoid it all the time. And
Do you know
so-
all I'm thinking about right now is how good your internet is, that you can walk around your house and your fucking audio and video don't break up, and we have these fucking knuckleheads on that can't fucking even find one place in their house where they can be on the show.
So I wasn't going to talk about that. I would probably do better if my wife, if it was 100% eliminated from the house. So what I've done is I was like, hey, can you? So I'll wait for her to open one, and then I'll steal a sip, and I'll be like, okay, that's it. I just stole a sip.
What does she drink? Does she drink Diet Coke?
No, she just has a Coke every once in a while, but she's normal. Like, she's a normal
I can't drink
person.
a regular Coke. I could have a Diet Coke. I can't drink a regular Coke for some reason.
So anyways, I was going to kind of avoid that because I didn't.
What about
want-
7-Up? Would you have a 7-Up?
Oh, sure.
What a waste. There's not even caffeine in that, Gary. What the fuck?
Is this, I mean, you told me 45 minutes. Am I boring the audience? I feel
No,
bad.
this is awesome. This whole episode has been fucking amazing.
So-
I didn't even realize it had already been that long.
I mean,
I'm doing the rest of the show like this.
so between
I can't believe I get to stand up.
going to the gym, I'm eating clean most of the time. I'm doing the California hormone. I'm feeling awesome, and it may not be perfect under Sevan Tyson standards, but I'm seeing results. I'm feeling better, so I'm, hopefully the community can accept me for who I am.
How much of this podcast is fake?
Fake? No.
Oh, okay, good.
I've done the only thing I would do. Here's the difference between Killing Fat Man today and Killing Fat Man season 1 is I'd been married 25 years, and Anissa and I, as you know, she left me in season 2. Anissa and I had 0 fucks given, so I was 100%. I was 100% honest about our sex life, and my wife's like, "Hey, man, I appreciate a little privacy on the
Little discretion.
on the she's shyer. And
So that's the
so
difference between season 1 and 2 and 3 is there'll be less sex in season 3. That really fucks up season 3, but it's
just
okay.
well, here's the deal. That's why I said you were missing, because if you were around, you would ask some hard questions that might get me
Yeah.
to sneak out some information. But when I'm just talking, I'm like, I'm not going to just.
Yeah.
She's just shyer in terms
What?
of.
How did you? Why are you? I thought she was a Bay Area gal. Why? How did you guys end up in Portland? Why aren't you guys back in the Bay Area? I know you moved up there for your dad.
Yeah, during the pandemic, we just had a baby. She was on maternity leave, so we were like, we're going to go visit some grandparents. So we ended up in the Chicago area. Her father got sick, and I had to nurse him. I had to take care of him on his deathbed. During that time,
both your dads passed away in the last year?
Yeah.
Crazy.
During that time, there was a family tiff between a family member who lived here in Oregon, and they told me I was a terrible son for not being in Oregon, and that they were taking care of my father. And anyways, they were making me feel bad about myself that I went to Illinois and not Chicago. And then when Xavier was being sick, I was like, oh, I just felt this urge.
You mean that you went to Illinois instead of Portland? You went to Chicago instead of Portland?
Yeah. And okay. when he was dying, I just felt a calling. I just like
your father you're talking about?
Caroline's father. Caroline's father was sick.
Right.
He was passing away, and I was taking care of him. And I felt I told you earlier, I'm not religious. I don't believe in divine intervention. The timing that you called me right when I was experiencing these crazy unhealthy acid refluxes, like weird timing. It felt divine, but I'm not divine guy, right? But it was the same thing. Xavier was sick, and I was like, I felt this. I was like, oh my God, my dad's getting old too. I got to be near him. And just at that time, Caroline's work kind of opened up the work from home movement. She's a corporate girl. They're like, hey, you can work from home. And I said, would you consider relocating? And she's like, let's do it. So we came to Oregon, and my dad passed away in less than a month from the time I got here.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I knew it.
And her dad had passed before you left.
Yeah.
So you took care of him until he passed, then you went and took care of your dad, and he passed.
Yeah. There was
did whoever shame you stop shaming you?
We haven't really spoken. That conversation.
Well, at least I shamed you, and we still speak though.
Yeah. I would again like to reiterate, Sevan Matosian, for all the shaming he has done a lot.
Hey, listen. I am a world-class shamer. I don't care. It's fine. It doesn't matter. I am a tool, and I am a world-class tool. I'm one of God's greatest tools, and I'm just a tool. I just can't help it.
I mean,
I'm open to being used as a tool, and I'm a tool to be used to do whatever.
So just to go back on that,
whatever homie needs. Yes.
When we were working for CrossFit, and Coach Glassman was on the we're just throwing everything and trying to kill Coke, and you were like, you kind of set up an environment where like it was almost like religious zealotry. Like if you have a Coke in your hands, you are the enemy. And it was like, oh my God, like this is for real. Like there was probably a year where I went to the movies once a week, movie theater, and I always had a Coke. Always had a
Diet Coke.
Coke in the movies. And I was like,
Diet
now
Coke?
I'm working CrossFit, and they're like, oh, they don't do Coke. Like
Diet
never,
Coke?
like
Diet
never
Coke?
a Coke.
Sparkling water is better than a Diet Coke, I will say.
Dude, Mike Celiaris.
Yeah.
You know Mike Celiaris, arm
Yeah,
wrestling?
yeah.
He told me, he said, do you know any skinny people drinking Diet Coke? He's like, it doesn't work.
Oh, that's a good point.
Regular Coke.
That's good. I just don't like the taste of it. But hey, you know who lived off of Diet Cokes or Cokes? Do you remember which arm wrestler just lived? That's all he didn't eat or drink anything. All he had was Coke.
I do not remember.
RJ Molinaire.
Oh, RJ.
All he had, and he was so skinny. And he was so ripped, and he would just drink whenever we'd go out and film with him in Houma, Louisiana, Houma, Houma, Louisiana. Go ahead. He would nurse a Coke. He would nurse a Coke for like 6 hours, a 16-ounce Coke. I'm not joking.
That's disgusting.
And he'd be out there. We'd be out there on a boat, and he'd have a Coke in one hand and a gun in the other hand.
Hey, can I change the subject? I'm sorry. I'm not.
Go ahead. Yeah, whatever.
My wife asked me. My wife asked me during the game. She's like, "Sevan, not at the games?" I was like, "I don't think he is." Like, do you not go to the games anymore?
I don't. I got fired from CrossFit. What would I do there?
But you would be like a media guy. You would have your podcast set up, and you would go around and you.
Let me tell you something. I'm not a media guy.
What is this?
I don't know what the fuck this is. Hey,
oh, well, before you finish, I would like to say
I didn't even get started. What are you talking about before I finish? Go ahead.
Well, just on the games thing, I was watching media and I was like feeling nostalgic, and I was like, oh my God, such great times going to the games with everyone. And it's like, I did feel sad this year watching the games. And I reached out to Eric for the first time in like a long time. He's like, oh, I'm at the games. I was like,
Eric who?
Eric, my man. You know, he filmed all of season 2. Eric, why can't I remember Eric's last name? You know Eric.
Oh, Maciel?
Eric Maciel. Yeah.
Dude, I drove down to Newport today. It's like 7 hours from my house, 5 hours from my house, right? And before I went to Newport, I took my fucking Sienna into the Toyota dealership to get it checked, right? And the guy who I dropped it off with, his last name is Maciel. And I'm like, man, that's got to be a pretty common last name. So I'm like, don't say it. Shut up. I'm like, are you Eric Maciel's brother? Like, I couldn't hold it in. He goes, I am.
What?
Yeah.
You lie.
No, I'm serious. And at the games, I saw Eric Maciel working there, and I told one of my other friends, I'm like, I can't fucking believe it. I saw Eric Maciel like in some video at the games, and he was wearing a CEO shirt. And I thought like that was like I was like, wow, Eric Maciel supports me. But then someone goes, no, he'll wear anything that's free. I was like, damn.
He came up and hung out with me for a minute. He came and said hi. We chatted.
He did? Awesome.
Yeah.
He used to run the podcast. He was the engineer for the podcast at CrossFit. Yeah. He was fucking awesome. Good and me and him got he was like it was kind of a trip having him on the show. Because he was like
the whole time.
Yeah, well, he didn't like that. He wanted to be a few times. He's like, "Hey, you got to treat me like a professional." I'm like, but I liked it that he fucked with me like that. But I was like, he's like, "Don't disrespect me on the podcast." I'm like, I only know how to disrespect you. What are you talking about?
You got to go back with Sevan 20 years to be cool with it.
Oh, Gary Roberts. Well, hey, this is great. We're gonna check in every month to see how like what happens with you and CrossFit and TRT and California Hormones.
Yeah, and I am getting more motivated by the day to produce. Like, yeah, baby. It is empowering. I'm ready.
The people want.
So you do that injection thing you do that we saw you do at the beginning of the show when I was drunk. Now I'm sober, but you do that every day.
Monday and Thursdays.
Oh, just 2 days a week.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh, we forgot Sarah chimed in with a super chat. You didn't say hi.
I did. Oh, I didn't. You're right. I didn't. But we were talking about California Hormones. She told me the other day, she's like, hey, you don't always have to say hi to me. And so I was like, all right, fuck it. I won't.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm feeling great. I kind of felt bad because I was like, I'm not sending enough updates on texts, but I mean, I'm still crushing it. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, mofos.
What else? Are you making anything else? Are you doing any other projects?
I forgot about my camera.
Oh, nice camera.
Oh, nice. Every camera I have, Sevan gave to me.
Well, that's good.
So we want to talk about what Sevan Matosian. There was one time.
No, you don't have to.
No. One time we were at the games. We were at the CrossFit Games. This was the first day. I think it was the same day Sevan found out that my wife was leaving me, sleeping with her high school boyfriend while I was at the games. He was playing with a new camera, and I was like, "Oh, that camera's awesome." He's like, "You want it?" I said, "Are you joking?" He goes, "No, you can have it after the games." After the games, he brought it to me and let me take it home.
Was
Hey,
it a
hey,
nice camera?
is this one right here?
$3,500 camera. Well, I'm a good dude.
Yeah, it's like, you
Damn.
know, that doesn't happen every day. Sevan can fire me a few more times. I still have stuff Sevy gave to me.
I love you, Gary. You're
I
fucking
love you too.
rad. I loved all the people I worked with that were good to me. You were so
Yeah,
good to me, dude. You're so good to me. You're so fucking good
you
to
were
me.
good to me, bro. Uh,
Um, just to recap, you have to know that Gary Roberts and I, when we were first started covering arm wrestling, there was no one else doing it. It was just the two of us, probably 2000, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, and we were just two dudes that would fucking go around to chasing arm wrestlers all around the continental United States, around the world, even podunk tournaments, crazy shit. For some of the wildest characters you've ever met. And Gary and I were just two hustlers, just two dudes with video cameras who had, thought we had struck gold when really we hadn't struck shit. And we bonded, and we've kept that friendship ever since.
yeah. Can I tell you a little small story before you end?
Please, go
You
ahead.
remember Denise Waddles?
I do. Yeah. She's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So listen, you say I'm work harder, but every once in a while I drop the ball. Okay. Denise Waddles 6 years ago sent me a box of VHS tapes of old arm wrestling tournaments. I was supposed to convert them to digital, convert them to a DVD. She would let me air the footage, but I would send her the copies of the footage. So I basically was doing free conversion from VHS to digital. 6 years ago, she sent me a box. Okay. Well, I sold all my shit in 2016 and I was traveling around the country. And so that box ended up in storage. And forever, she's like, "Hey, where's my tapes? Where's my tapes?" And I always had an excuse. I was in Chicago. I said, "My tapes are in storage. I'm sorry." 6 years she's been following me. And when I moved to Oregon, I told her, I said, "All my stuff is going to be in one place. I will find your box and I will get it back to you."
And
so I found her box yesterday. And I messaged her. I was like, "I have your box. I'm going to convert it to digital. I'll send you." She goes, "Absolutely not. Do not convert it. Just send me the tapes." I said, "Why would you want me to send you the tapes? It costs money. I'm going to convert it to free." She goes, "No, don't do it." She was like all pissed. And I said, I said to her, the last thing I messaged her, I sent it by mail today, but I said, "You must think there's something like really viral in here, like some million hits." I said,
no, she doesn't.
I said, "You don't want me to see it, so I won't post it." Like, she must think she has some gold in there.
There's no arm wrestling gold anywhere.
No, bro.
Listen, and you know what's funny? Hey, the moral to the story is never agree to help anyone. Fuck everyone.
Anyway, she was a little short with me, and I was like, "Well, that's weird." But
I can't.
Goes,
Ron Bass gave me some tapes that I never returned to him. I feel horrible for it.
6 years.
Hey, if anyone wants to be as upbeat and positive and as fit and as healthy and as happy and as motivated and as charismatic as Gary Roberts, you can do it. You have to go to cahormones.com, password Sevan, and you'll get a free doctor's consultation. And if you live in California, you'll get free blood work. I don't understand why you wouldn't do it. And then you're on the path to being the next Gary Roberts.
Hey, stay tuned.
Okay,
man.
Gary. Thank you.
Crushing it, mofo. Crushing it. Good night.
I will talk to you soon.
All right. Peace out, bro.
Peace and love.
Adios, man. That was a
sobered
blast.
up. I sobered up in the whole show.
The energy at the beginning when you were just like going through that whole history and he just busted just shoots up the testosterone. I was like, what is happening? Oh, he's so much fun.
I'm in the kitchen again, so I'm tripping and like I'm
the same spot that we were before, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I can stand up. I think Hiller's coming to Newport on Thursday, and
oh my gosh, when you kept walking to the back by the
yeah, I can walk all the way back.
I couldn't start laughing because he was like in the middle of like making a really good point about finance and fitness, and then you're over there like that. Oh my gosh.
I hit Dream Rare up today too. Told him I was back in
Oh
town. I
yeah,
said we got to get you on the podcast.
yeah. Would he come do it in person? That'd be cool. Would you
He
do
actually
that?
said he would. That kind of
That
makes
would
me
be cool.
nervous doing it in person.
Oh, I think it'd be cool.
But I guess
He's
it's
second time
I
you've
gu-
had him on, and you've like hung out with him, so it's not like it'd be you have to meet him or something.
RN Macau. This was like a good MDMA trip. Maybe I've done so much MDMA in my past that whenever I get my swerve on it, it feels like I'm.
Oh my goodness, that was great. We should just switch
Okay.
all the shows to the evening and just see how it rolls from here on out, man.
It's gonna be a fun 2 weeks. Yeah.
Coming right down from Dory's place.
I did when I came back right before the show. I was a little buzzed, and I came into the kitchen here and did 100 burpees, and my boys did them with me. It was pretty cool.
That is cool. That's the workout there.
No mushrooms, not yet. Okay, so tomorrow morning we have. Do we have Trevor Cashy scheduled?
Yes, he's scheduled, and he's like via email, but he's all squared away.
Okay, and are you on tomorrow morning show?
No, I will not be. I'll be at the fire department.
How about Caleb? I wonder if Caleb's on.
Caleb might be on.
And then, but if I go to StreamYard, it is
I'm gonna
scheduled.
send. That is a question.
I'm gonna see. Okay, so we have Dr. Cashy, and then we have Sherman.
Yes, that is scheduled on the streamer.
And then we have Sherman Merrick. That's gonna be fun. That'll be so. Those are. And then we have Kevin Kessler. And Alan Stein. Listen, you guys, if you want to, on Friday, I'm having the author on of a book called. Shit, what's the name of the book? It's such a good book. It's called Sustain Your Game.
That's it.
Sustain Your Game. I'm going to have the author of this book on. I promise you, you will not regret it if you download the audiobook and start listening to it now. You'll be pretty happy come Friday that you started listening to this book, Sustain Your Game. It's a really, really good book. The notes I'm getting from it are already fabulous. He works with great athletes, and he talks about. Let me see if I can find some of my notes here. Okay, I'm not going to give any of it away, but you want to get the book. Check it out. Sustain Your Game. The author is Alan Stein. Don't confuse it with Alex Stein, although he's a great guest also. And that's on Friday. So you can download that audiobook or buy that book, Sustain Your Game, and start listening. And I think that the podcast will have more value for you then. What do you think about the Vindicate t-shirt? Bosman is also a prick. I haven't seen it. But it might be blasphemy to do that.
That's what I kind of thought, to be honest. When I saw it, I was
a seal thing with Dave.
Yeah.
That might be a little
There's like a big backstory behind that.
Tall Steve Winners fight, dude. The fight got stopped. He got poked in the eye, and the fight got stopped. Crazy, right? Co-main event.
Boom. Okay.
Do you need me on? Always. We always need you on. Okay. We will see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Gary Roberts, thanks for coming on. Matt Souza, thanks for being here. Sarah
awesome.
Cox, thanks for everything. California Hormones, get you step today.